The first step in project 1 asks you to unfreeze the first and second rows. So what that means is when rows are frozen or columns, you can scroll down and notice that they don't change. This is helpful when you have something like this going on, right? The titles here. And let's say you had so many rows that it doesn't all fit on the same page. So if you freeze these titles, then you'll know many set rows down, wait, which month was I looking at, right? That kind of thing. So that's when you find that most helpful. But they ask us to unfreeze, so just highlight these two. And this has to do with the view that you're looking at. So, just go to your View tab. That seems to be where it makes most sense anyway, right? And right here you'll see Freeze Panes, so click on this. Unfreeze Panes unlocks all rows and columns. So do that, and now when you scroll down, notice that it doesn't hold on to that title. So at this point, you can move on to the next instruction, which is number 2. Unfreeze the top 2 rows, then middle align the contents of the merged cell. So this is the merged cell. Notice it merged A through K, right? It treats them all as one. And now if you go to the Home tab and you say middle align, right? This is center align. That's different than middle. Middle has to do with the vertical, right? The top, bottom, middle. So click on middle. Okay, and I did skip over step 1. Step 1 is just to change this tab name. If you double click, notice that it's modifiable now. You can just change it and type right over it to whatever you want. There are other things you can do for editing the text in a cell. So we talked about the unfreeze, this being merged, and then middle alignment. Other things you can do, one of the steps asks you to merge these rows here, I believe. Right, and they want projected orders to display on an angle. That's all part of alignment, so you can click the launcher button here. And you can do all of that from this dialog box, right? This is the alignment tab, so notice you can do the rotation of the text. You can merge cells here. You could also do some of that from this, right? The merge and center happens here. But sometimes it's easier to just use this because it has everything at one time. So check the merge cells, right? That was A3 to A9. And then it wants us to rotate the text 90 degrees. So here you could just put in a 90. Alternatively, you can just drag this little guy, right, to 90-degree angle. So if you weren't precisely at 90, you could change and show this 45 degree, etc. Click OK, and notice that it changes the way this displays. So there are more to those few steps, but I want to show you some of the options that you have when you're aligning text, and a lot of that can be found just by going to the launcher button here.